It was a gun. The revolver. Almost lazily, he tilted it to point at Lotus's head.
If any of you so much as blink, I won't hesitate to pull this trigger. I've already killed 3 people. Don't think I'm not ready to make it 4.
3 people. Who's the third?
3 people? What do you mean?
Very well. Let me take this opportunity to illuminate you. The person who killed the 9th man was me.
Oh my god. So when he said he lied to me. God damn it, Ace.
Although I suppose to be more accurate, I encouraged him to get himself killed.
Bastard.
While we were examining the main staircase, he came to me and told me his name. I recognized it at once, so I gave him a little push. Just a little white lie. It seems the settings for the dead were altered. Now it only requires a single person to deactivate the detonator in the bracelet. Investigate what's beyond door 5. We'll meet again later. And with that...
Okay. Have a good one, guys. I'm going off ahead now. Well then.
That's fucked up.
Why is it stopping? God damn it! You lied! Open the door, please! I'm begging you! Help me! Please get me out of here! Get me out of here! Oh my god, oh my god! There's no time left! Listen! I was lied to! He lied to me! He put me in here!
I would have rather him say, yeah, Ace lied to me. Because he would have known the nicknames by that point. And he knew who you talked to. So I would have said that. Because then that just puts him in a really bad spot. It'd be like, what do you mean he lied to you, him? I don't know. He's lying.
It was him! He killed me! It was him!
It would have been so much better. Then we could have thrown him into a door and had him explode. Boom. There you go.
I had 4 reasons for killing him.
4? 1.
As I said before, in the nonary game, the number 9 bracelet is of utmost importance.
So you killed him for his bracelet. That's fucked up.
If I had allowed him to keep such a useful tool, he, or it, would have become a threat to me. As such, I decided that he should be eliminated early on.
That's fucked up. 2.
I wanted the number 9 bracelet.
That's basically the same as number 1.
If I could manage to obtain it, I would be able to manipulate the game as I saw fit. I would be unable to acquire the bracelet unless its owner was dead. That's the second reason.
3.
Even setting aside his number, he would have been nothing but trouble for me. He was aware of my past. He knew what happened here 9 years ago.
So they're connected as well.
It was important that I eliminate him before he was able to disseminate this information.
4.
Lastly, I wished to conduct a simple test. A test to see if this nonary game was serious, or a poor attempt at a joke. I needed to be quite sure. As such, I encouraged him to act against the rules so that I might observe the outcome.
Junpei glared at him.
I don't get your third motive. What the hell happened 9 years ago?
This nonary game.
Didn't I say? The nonary game was played. I planned it out, and I conducted its execution.
Why? What on earth was it supposed to do?
I was testing shit.
I don't really think I have any obligation to tell you that.
Thanks. Ace smirked. He was trying to provoke them and it was working. Although Ace had paid very little attention to Lotus after catching her, the gun had never wavered from her temple. She looked quite pale and then she spoke, her voice shook.
Hey, what's with this gun?
Oh, I found it.
Where did he get this?
Why don't you tell her, Santa?
6 door. Santa ground his teeth and glared at Ace. You didn't get it this time? Oh my god.
On the other side of door 6, we found the gun in the coffin in the cargo room, right? The bastard must have grabbed it when we weren't looking.
Indeed I did. That was a pretty serious mistake, you know. Just saying you intended to leave it behind.
Yeah, no shit. Ace laughed, a short derisive snorting, and gave Junpei a sickeningly pitying look.
Well, there isn't much time left. I'll be off then.
Well, where are you going?
Do I really need to explain? I had assumed it would be obvious. I have the number 9 bracelet. And now I have Lotus.
1 plus 8 equals 9.
Wasn't there a door with a 9 on it in the room that looked like a church?
Yep.
That's where you're going, isn't it?
And how do you know that?
Santa told me about it while we were looking for Clover.
I see. Well, you are correct. That is my destination. But now I must say goodbye to all of you. Ah, and please, don't forget my warning. Move and I'll pull the trigger. I don't need her alive to open the door, you know.
As he spoke, Ace began backing toward the door, practically dragging Lotus behind him. See, I think he's more willing to kill than Santa was, so I mean, that's why I was more like, just rush him. Because I don't think he'd shoot June. He'll shoot Lotus. I mean, that's obvious. He's a psycho.
Shit! He's getting away!
But we can't risk it.
Junpei, Santa, June, and Seven stood frozen. Ace had the face of a man gone mad. They had no doubt he would pull the trigger. Ace had reached the exit.
Now, Lotus, open the door for me if you would.
He forced Lotus to open it, then turned and addressed them once more.
Goodbye.
Then he stepped through the door. It fell shut. In a blink of an eye, they were gone.
Damn it!
As soon as Ace and Lotus were gone, Junpei and the others left for the door in pursuit of Ace. But as Junpei laid his hand on the doorknob... Oh my god! June, are you fucking serious? There was a noise behind him. He looked over his shoulder. June was kneeling on the floor, breathing heavily.
Hey, June, what happened? Are you alright?
Santa ran to June and wrapped his arm around her before she could collapse all the way.
Jesus, you're burning up. Your fever's back. Are you okay?
June's fever had returned again for no apparent reason. Her eyes were watery and her eyelids drooped. Her breath came in dry, shallow gasps.
I'm okay. Really, I'm fine.
Yeah, clearly.
You should be worrying about Lotus.
Yeah, she has more imminent death. She's breathing hard now, and she could barely summon the strength to talk.
But...
Junpei was torn. He couldn't leave June alone in the state she was in. But every moment they waited, Ace was farther away, Lotus's life in his hands. What was Junpei supposed to do? Carry June there. June's eyes drifted to Junpei. She managed to muster a weak smile.
Jumpy, don't worry about me. I just need a little rest. I'll be fine.
There's not enough time for that shit.
Don't you remember? I just needed to rest a little bit last time. So please, please save Lotus.
Yeah, just carry her.
Think about what Ace has already done, Junpei. When he's got what he needs from Lotus, you really think he's just gonna let her walk away?
You never know.
Damn it.
He could be nice for once.
You guys go on ahead. Soon as June starts feeling better, we'll follow you. Go!
Junpei looked at June. She nodded once, but she couldn't manage much more. But it was all the confirmation Junpei needed. His resolve was set.
All right. Come on, Seven. We're going after Ace.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah.
Santa, you take good care of June. I'm trusting you. Got it.
Santa nodded. Junpei turned before he had a chance to change his mind and started running toward the door. He could hear Seven's heavy footsteps behind
Let's
him.
go!
Junpei and Seven exploded into the hallway, their feet pounding the metal floor as they ran. I still need June to get out of here. Because that's the perfect way we can get out. With Seven, at least. So we can leave Santa behind and say, fuck it. Bye, Santa. Have a nice life. For the last minute. Junpei and Seven had arrived at the church, exhausted and out of breath. As their lungs struggled to catch their breath, their eyes frantically scanned the room.
Where are they?
Probably gone.
I don't see them.
You think they already went through?
Probably. He didn't pass him on the way here. He reached up to wipe a palmful of sweat from his brow.
Maybe.
Even as he spoke, Junpei was already on the way to the larger of the number 9 doors.
Let's check the red.
Vacant? The display read vacant. He spun around and headed toward the smaller door. This read would tell him if Ace and Lotus had moved to another room. Yes.
Engaged. It's occupied.
That means Ace and Lotus went through here.
Yeah, it seems like it.
So Junpei and Seven stepped away from the door. They retreated to the center of the room and began to talk.
What do we do now?
Yeah, what should we do? Well, the big door is still vacant, but...
The two of us can't do anything with it.
Exactly. We need
Yeah,
we
not
need
even
you.
counting how our digital route isn't 9.
Just then, as they were pondering what to do next. Hey, Snake. Which it has to be Snake. Snake has to be in that thing. There was a noise. I mean, there's just no other reason. Like, if it is, like, Alice or whatever, it's like, what the fuck? This is weird. It has to be Snake. I don't know how the fuck he got in here, but... A noise like someone hitting a thick wooden panel.
What's that sound?
Junpei looked up, surprised. Seven followed suit, his eyes jumping around the room, looking for the source of the sound. These candles are suspicious.
It's coming from over there.
It wasn't long before they found the altar. Or more precise, what was on it.
The coffin.
Yeah.
Let's open it.
How?
By force!
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well, you never know till you try, right? The only necessity for success is the willingness to suffer 1,000 failures.
What the fuck? What?
Who said that?
I forget.
Well, that... Okay.
Anyway, we've got to try.
Yeah, you got to. Junpei and Seven left at the coffin. They grabbed hold of what purchase they could find and pulled.
Damn it!
See? Didn't I tell you?
Yeah, no shit.
If you could just pull it open, why would it have something like that?
Mm-hmm. Seven pointed at the keypad on the side of the coffin.
Right. So unless I put in the right passcode, it's not gonna open.
The noise hadn't stopped. In fact, as it continued, it had only gotten louder and more forceful. What were they supposed to do, Junpei
Was
wondered.
there some sort of clue somewhere?
They stood there for a few moments, staring at the coffin, and then Seven spoke.
Hey, Junpei. I remember you mumbling about some weird numbers over by the bathroom in the first-class cabin.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Just put in the numbers.
You got those numbers by solving the secret message Clover was holding, right? Truth had gone, or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. What about it?
Well, maybe that number's the passcode for this thing, too.
Come on, that's impossible.
Nothing is impossible.
Those numbers were the code to unlock that safe.
No.
Yeah, but the person who set up that safe in this coffin is the same person, right? Zero set up both of these.
Yeah, probably.
Well, then they might have set the same passcode for both of them.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
No, it's not.
Why don't you just try it? I mean, it's not like you'll make things any worse.
Exactly.
It'd just be a waste of time. There's no way they're the same number.
Standing here doing nothing is a waste of time.
How do you know that? You never know until you try. The only necessity for success is the willingness to suffer 1,000 failures.
Get wrecked, Junpei.
Who said that?
You.
You.
Get the fuck out of here, Junpei.
Fine.
He knelt down in front of the keypad and looked at it. Perhaps something he'd repeated them so many times before the numbers came easily to Junpei's mind.
1438 3421.
Yes. Quickly, he typed them in. Enter. He checked that he'd entered the right numbers, took a deep breath, and pressed the enter button. It only took a moment.
What? You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, Junpei. There was a click. And with a heavy clunk, the lid of the coffin slid off onto the floor. Someone sat up from inside.
Snake!
Hey, Snake. I was right, though.
You? Why?
Ah, those voices. Junpei and Seven, unless I'm mistaken.
Sorry, this is Ace and Lotus. How you doing?
Where are the others? Are they elsewhere?
You could say that. Of course, there was no reason Snake would have known anything about where anyone else would be. Junpei and Seven looked at one another. There was a great deal he needed to know, but they had to tell him something. However, they began to talk. Snake explained to them how he came to be locked in the coffin. Apparently, he'd been hit with some sort of knockout gas, and Junpei and Seven explained what had happened to the rest of them.
I see. I believe I got the gist of everything.
Yeah, I would probably leave. God, that's a weird-ass robe. I would probably leave out that his sister dying.
Have I been sufficiently caught up?
No, there was one thing they kept from him. There was one thing, however, that neither Seven nor Junpei could bring themselves to say. That Ace had killed Clover. They feared that if Snake knew, he might well go insane.
Yeah.
They decided as much by looking the moment Snake had climbed out of the coffin.
But that still doesn't explain why you were trapped in here.
We've still got no clue about Zero's true identity, let alone why the hell he's doing all this.
Why the hell you have that robe?
Why did he put Guy X in Snake's clothes?
Weird-ass Cole.
Is all this stuff somehow related to that nonary game that was played 9 years ago?
Hey, Snake, do you know anything?
Junpei put the question to Snake. His answer was less than illuminating.
What are you talking about? I apologize, but I have no idea what you're saying.
It seemed as though Snake was, perhaps not being entirely honest, but that knowledge did Junpei and Seven look
Oh,
good.
come on, just tell us if you know.
I don't know what to tell you. How can I know something I don't?
God damn it, Snake. No matter how many times they asked, he insisted that he knew nothing. God, this is like when we went through the first door. Oh, this is nice. Little reunion. It was becoming clear that Snake wouldn't give in, and every second they spent asking him was a second wasted.
This is bad. We're running out of time.
We need to go after Ace.
However, they stood in silence, the overpowering atmosphere of the chapel almost stifling. Junpei, Seven, and Snake simply stood at a loss for what they should do next.
What do we do now?
He glanced over at Snake's wrist. Sure enough, he could see the 2 on the bracelet on Snake's wrist.
The 3 of us can't make a digital route of 9.
Yeah, we just get 5.
We're stuck here then.
God damn it.
Hey, I just remembered something.
Want to go get Clover's bracelet? Seven began patting his pockets as if he were checking to see if any of them had held anything.
What?
What is it?
I found something earlier.
What did you find?
This.
A bracelet. He'd finally found the pocket he wanted, and his hand dove into it. Seven pulled out something round and metal. Oh, the 0 bracelet. A bracelet. There was no mistaking the number glowing at them from the face like a cartoon eye.
0. Zero's bracelet.
What did you say? Are you saying that 7 has the number 0 bracelet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where did you get that?
Snake's question was innocent enough, but if he learned the truth. If he'd been able to see it, he would have noticed Seven look away.
Clover gave it to me.
She did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did she come by it?
In the captain's quarters.
Well, she found it. See, on the other side of door 1, A deck, in the captain's quarters. She asked me to hold on to it because it was too big and bulky for her to be lugging around.
God.
He's lying.
Oh, really? Junpei could tell right away that Seven wasn't telling the truth.
He even told us earlier.
I haven't actually looked at it yet. Didn't want to disturb the crime scene, you know? Basic stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I did borrow one thing.
He probably said that so Snake doesn't find out about Clover.
Obviously.
All right, Junpei. Been nice knowing you.
Wait, what?
Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, you dickhead. You're not.
Come on, man. I'm just kidding.
Oh, thank God. I was gonna say, my bro isn't gonna fucking leave me. Oh, thank God. Oh. Seven, you're the best.
Still, just in case, I want to make sure the 0 bracelet gets picked up by the red. Snake, give me a hand, all right?
Without waiting for a response, he started walking toward the door. Junpei and Snake followed him quietly. Before long, they found themselves in front of the larger of the two doors. Seven and Snake put their palms on the red. Once they'd done that, Seven put the number 0 bracelet on the scanner panel as well. A third asterisk appeared on the screen. 9. Now they just need to pull the lever and the door would open.
Huh? Why isn't it opening?
That's not a 0. Does it count as a 10? Then. So that it's like an extra 1.
Well, the third asterisk lit up, so it must have registered the 0 bracelet.
Maybe it isn't actually 0.
Huh?
What?
That bracelet may not actually produce the number 0 when scanned.
Clearly not.
That is what I'm saying. Why don't we try a few different combinations?
Yeah.
Perhaps we can determine what number that bracelet actually contains.
Oh, got it!
Hopefully it's something good. Junpei nodded. They decided to use the following combination. Snake, Junpei, bracelet. Well, this is probably the most important one. Let's go ahead and do that.
Let's try all three of us and the bracelet.
I want to see if that helps. Snake, Junpei, 7. That would be 14, 15. So the bracelet could be 4 if it opens.
If this combination works, then the number for this bracelet is 4.
I think this is the easiest one, well, most obvious to go through first. Damn it.
It didn't open.
Then this bracelet is not 4.
Not 4, not
Then?
0. Junpei continued. We decided to use the following. Junpei 7, the bracelet, which we get 5 plus 7, which would be 12, 13. This could be another 6 bracelet.
Let's try me, 7, and the bracelet.
Junpei, that'll be 3.
If this combination works, then the number for this bracelet is 6.
They scanned in their bracelets.
It opened.
Yes, so it would seem.
Okay, here's time for a really terrible prediction. And reading probably too much into it. The idea that the 0 bracelet, like, is it supposed to, like, tell you who it actually is? Who's 0? Thus, it would be June, who is 0. Because there's been a lot of, oh, she would never do that. Never could, never could, never could. I don't like it. I'm going to operate under the assumption that June is now is 0. With the only reason that the 0 bracelet is 6. 7 clearly hadn't thought their experiment would produce anything useful and looked rather confused. Snake was, as usual, calm and smug. The door slid closed. Junpei's forehead furrowed as he thought.
That means the bracelet is actually 6.
9.
But how is that possible? The display on the bracelet clearly shows a 0.
Suddenly, from somewhere far beneath them, they heard the creak and groan of tearing metal. With it came the sound of water pouring into parts of the ship that had until recently been dry. Aw, fuck me.
Oh man, that's not good. I guess our time's just about up, huh?
Open the goddamn door.
At any rate, we know now that the door can be opened. Let's go!
Open the goddamn door.
But, Snake, are you sure?
Open the goddamn door.
Yeah. You know that only Junpei and I can go through this way.
You needn't worry. I have a solution to this problem. My last resort. But if now is not the time for last resorts, then when?
God damn it, Snake. Just fucking shut up.
Last?
Resort?
Okay. Junpei 7 and Snake ran full tilt down a long straight hallway. They were headed for the stern of the ship and had no time for distractions. As they ran, 7 spoke.
Gotta admit, you really surprised me there, kid. I couldn't figure out how the hell you were gonna get out of that one. How come you didn't do that right off the bat?
As I told you, it was a last resort. Had I used it at the beginning of the game, I would have come under a great deal of suspicion. I imagine that most people would have taken it to mean that I was Zero.
What?
Once they'd convinced themselves of that, I wasn't optimistic about my chances of making it out of here alive, let alone unscathed. I felt it best to play my cards close to the chest, as it were.
What'd you do?
That way, if I were in a situation where there was nothing else I could do, I'd have a little trick up my sleeve. I'd just take my bracelet off.
Oh. He just takes his prosthetic arm off. Snake's plan had been simple yet effective. He'd simply remove his bracelet. How? To Junpei, it looked as though Snake had simply crushed the bones in his hands until they were small enough to fit through the wristband. Of course, that would have been practically impossible, so how had he done it?
My brother's left arm is, it's not like a normal person's arm.
And the left arm has the bracelet on it.
It's fake. It's not a real arm.
And theoretically, it doesn't have a pole, so you could probably just light it off. Snake had slid the bracelet off and tossed it into the coffin.
I know this is kind of a weird thing to say, but I'm glad that's a fake arm.
Don't have to be afraid of the door if you don't got a bracelet.
Exactly.
You are correct.
He'd walked through the door easily without authenticating. He stepped out on the other side unscathed and began running down the hall alongside 7 and Junpei. They kept running for a while longer and eventually came upon a set of stairs leading downward on the right side of the hallway. So my idea of cutting off everyone's left hands would have worked, because you only need 3 people theoretically to open the, number 9 door. Those are the 3 people that get to keep their hands. Everyone else just walks through it without a hand. I mean, it's kind of, but which would you rather be? Drowning or lose a hand? And that's what I would do, at least.